Hello again, everyone. You nearly forgot what I look like. It's been that long since I've posted anything. No real reason for that. Just sort of lost my mojo a little bit. But yeah, an interesting few weeks. Ducati's been going really well, apart from me crashing it, basically. So that's sort of lead me on to one of the things I want to talk about tonight. But just quickly about the last crash. It went really well. It was a Greenfield TT, so with the jump and the right hander and everything else. Yeah, had a good day. Kept my nose clean most of the time, kept out of the way, got some solid results, and qualified the best I'd qualified in the Thunderbike final. So how it works is, because there's only a few twins, we race at the same time as the Thunderbikes, but then we are scored separately in our final. So I qualified, I can't remember, it was 6th or 7th for the Thunderbike final, and Justin Heavens, who has a ER6 Ninja 650, whatever you want to call it, framer, which he imported from the US, a proper legitimate flat track 650 twin, meaning we haven't actually even properly raced against each other yet. He's probably the person I'd peg myself at as a rival really in the championship. Gary Birtwistle on the Royal Enfield, obviously he's sort of way in front, but so me and Justin, we'd not actually met in the heats all day. We'd been in separate heats because they have a couple of groups separate, and we'd obviously both had similar sorts of results, kept out of trouble, and we actually were 6th and 7th grid pick. I think Justin must have been 6th and I was 7th grid pick, so we were alongside each other on the start line, and then we were like, you know what, we've got a race here, which was pretty cool. And we both got reasonable starts round the first, because it's sort of, the track works similar to a normal flat track. So you set off into the left-hander, we're kind of one behind the other, and then on the back straight it's like anchors on into a sharp hairpin left, and we were right next to each. Again, we were sort of, I was right on his tail. Then you do a sharp right-handed hairpin and over the jump, and I'm not sure if someone went loose in front of him or he got in the loose stuff, didn't get the drive out of the right, and I managed to sort of jump alongside him. Excuse me, I thought I'd actually got my nose in front. And we landed off the jump, neck and neck. We'd gone back into the left-hander, which is sort of back into the normal flat track routine. I was on the outside. I thought, I've got this. I just need to, try and keep my elbows out and stay rigid. So you don't, like, if you go all loose and stuff, people on the inside, they tend to knock you. You'll go wide. Justin was holding the inside, and there wasn't as much grip there as he thought, and he's run wide, got tangled up with my handlebar. I'm not sure what part on him was on the handlebar, but it's lifted my front and it's just dumped me straight on the deck. I banged my head pretty good, bruised all my side, all my thigh. The bruise is just about gone now, and we're sort of 3 weeks down the line. Rung my belt. I wasn't quite knocked out, but I certainly had had birds tweeting going around my head and some stars flickering, and I was out of it. For a couple of days, I don't think I've ever really had concussion. I think that's probably my first experience of it. It wasn't a nice experience, and it made me think about the sort of safety aspect, and I've been lucky so far. It's something you have to really do think about. But a couple of days after, it was strange. If anybody else has had a similar experience or something, just get in the comments. Let me know your experience with concussion. But I found my brain was all working normally, maybe a little bit slower, but I was sort of forgetting what I was thinking of. I'd been thinking about something, and then I'd forget what I was thinking about. That sounds odd, but that's probably the only way I can describe it. So I was a bit off for few days after that. I've still got a big bit of swelling on my thigh, waiting for that to go down. There's a load of fluid there. I'm hoping that's just going to go down on its own. But yeah, this has sort of led me in a roundabout way to what I wanted to talk about, which is helmets. This one is the one that I had on. It is a Bell MX-9. Yeah, really good helmet. It's really comfortable, fits my head really well. It's done me a couple of seasons now, which is probably too long. I don't know, if you follow all expert advice and any websites and stuff that are official advice, probably doesn't want to do more than a year anyway, especially in off-road sports, and you should replace it every time you crash. But let's be realistic, if everybody who races, particularly off-road, if you replaced your helmet every time you crashed, you wouldn't get very good mileage out of your helmets. But you've got to be sensible about it. If you have a biggie and you smack your head, you need to change your helmet. Absolutely tipping it down. Pretty summertime. Mega. But yeah, back to helmets. If you changed your helmet absolutely every time you crashed, it's just not viable. No one's going to do that. But there's a few things you can do. You should keep your helmet. I'm trying to do this without laughing. Keep your helmet clean. What I mean by that is, if you go to the start of a race meeting and your helmet's already mucky, how are you going to know if you've done any more damage to it? I'll probably put on some pictures in this video. But that, after the crash, that's a fresh scuff. That one there. There's a few scuffs all over it. What I'm going to do is show you what else to check for in a helmet. So it's a good idea to give it a thorough clean before your next meeting. Don't do it the night before, because then if you find a problem, you haven't got time to sort a new helmet. So when you're washing your bike, because we all do that straight away when we've got back from the race meeting, don't we? So do it when you're washing your bike. Just have half an hour, and it's dead easy. Most good quality helmets, you'll be able to do this. Don't buy rubbish helmets, don't buy cheap ones. It's false economy. You'll bang your head one day and you will regret buying a cheap helmet. Bell do a couple of different sort of grades. You know, we can't all afford the top level, full carbon, fancy pants, you know, all singing, all dancing. I can't afford one. But they do have sort of an entry level one, which have pretty much all of the same safety features as their top of the line ones, but in a polycarbonate shell instead of the carbon shell. So all that means is it's a much more affordable option for the likes of your average rider, especially if you crash quite a bit and you're going to need a new helmet. So anyway, all brands you'll be able to do this. Some of them have slightly different ways of it working, but you know, you've got your cheek pads there, they pop it in. There makes them dead easy to clean. So pop those out. And if you do this before every meeting, like I say, it gives you a chance to have a real good look at your helmet. Make sure there's no damage on there. You know, I'm so grateful that I was wearing a decent helmet, because if I wasn't, who knows, it might have been much worse. You know, I banged my head pretty good. It's not fun, and if you do that and you're not wearing the right stuff, you know, down the years, you know, there's been a lot of studies lately, we've all seen it on the football and the rugby and stuff, where, you know, it's an important thing. You don't want stuff to start happening later on, where just because you didn't wear proper equipment. So in this one, there we go, it's coming now. So it has sort of foam comfort liner sort of thing. And then it has this thin, hard plastic layer. Again, it's just on some little poppers. That slides out. That's, I think what that does, the idea is that it helps it sort of skid on your helmet, on your head slightly. So what we're looking for on the insides of your helmet, it's kind of like a hard polystyrene that it's made from. I'm just going on what I know, but that's what this one's made from. And what they do, they spray, or it's paint. The inside is painted. In this case, it's painted black. The foam, polystyrene stuff, is white. So if there's any damage, the paint splits, and you can see that it is damaged. So really good. I'll probably take a picture of this so you can see it clearly. But inside there's a little white bit, and that is where I have banged my head pretty good. So that means that this helmet is scrap. It's got to go. It served me well. That might even be a crack. I think that's got a bit of a... Yeah. Anyway, it's scrap, whatever. It served me well. It's been a really good helmet, but its time has come. It's got to be hung up, and that's that. If you can't get yourself a helmet, you can't race bikes. Simple as that. It's the single most important piece of equipment. It's just more important than everything else. And that's it. It's as simple as that. So, that's my little TED talk, whatever you want to call it, about helmets. I can't stress how important it is. So, but they're the things to look for. When you're cleaning your helmet, you're getting ready for your next meeting, it gives you a chance to give it a good thorough looking over and making sure someone's knocked it off the side and you've not noticed, they've not told you, it's landed on the floor and it's cracked. How would you know that if it was all mucky and you're just pulling it on? It'll be alright. Yeah, it probably will be alright until the day that it's not alright, and then, well, you're screwed, aren't you? So yeah, that's that. The bike fared alright, in fairness, after the crash. I should say that Justin, after we got tangled up, I'd got, everyone helped me get the bike up and pushed it back to the van for me, and I'd sort of hobbled back a bit, sort of, away with the fairies, and I had 5 minutes sat down. And Justin was I think he was the first person actually to come and find me. I think he must have dumped his bike after the rerun of the final, and come and found me straight away, just to make sure I was alright. And fortunately I was a little bit away with the fairies, but I was alright. But yeah, the bike fared alright, no major damage. Broke the little rubber mounts off the seat again. I broke those at Peterborough and broke those again. Fortunately, they are a couple of quid. I can just unbolt them, bolt new ones on. Twisted the forks. Twisted the forks in the yokes. Again, that's just a case of loosening everything off, straightening it all back up. Bust off one of the steering lock, got little bolts on the yoke that acts as steering stops. One of those has broke off, so I'm going to have to get the front end jacked up and drop the forks out, drop the bottom yoke off and drill that out. I purposefully did those as a through hole, so that the bolt, in theory, when it's broke off, should just wind through, and then it's not, I'm not trying to wind it back out or anything. So it's an easy fix. Bodywork, a couple of cracks and stuff. There's a bit of a gouge where the steering stop broke and the yoke hit the bodywork. A couple of cracks in the seat, but again, bit of patching up. It's a race bike. It's not a showpiece. It will be absolutely fine to go again. It turned over and fired up when I got home. No issues whatsoever. So yeah, sorry about being a bit AWOL, not really posting much. Like I say, I sort of lost my mojo a little bit. The 450, that's been doing my head in. I still haven't got the motor back. But as soon as the motor comes back for that, I can throw all that back together. I've got new radiators for it. It's that's basically a bolting back together exercise. Bolt all that back together, get that out of the way. The catty put back together, so everything I can have a really good sort out, because it's becoming a bit chaotic. And I need to do some stuff that's going to earn me some money. We've got an ER6 build happening that I'm sort of half involved in. I'm doing a few rear end bits, making a wheel fit and things like that. Get that done. We've got a Hornet that I need to service and just go through, give it a bit of a recommission, get that sold. And then it's all hands on to get the TDM ready for the winter. We're halfway through the year now, so that means we are closer to the beach season than you might think. If I don't start now, I definitely won't be ready in time. So I need to get my skates on with that. So yeah, if everyone could like, share, subscribe, get in the comments, do all that cool stuff, that'd be really good. Thank you.